Hey gamers, Maniac here with another Tales from IT. This one's going to be a brief one, and this one is only going to be for you Mac owners out there. Let me tell you something. I actually really do like the Macs. I think that, especially the MacBooks made around 2011, I think they're great laptops. I really did like OS X, and I'm really looking forward to the new versions of Mac OS as they are released. So I just want to have that preface because I'm going to have to tell you a story about IT involving Macs where I'm going to make some comments about Macs that Mac enthusiasts may not like. So I just wanted to give that warning right there. Essentially speaking, I have never in my entire life seen Mac make any type, or I'm sorry, Apple in general, make any type of power adapter within the last decade that doesn't eventually completely fall apart after about a year. I have never in my entire life from any other manufacturer, no matter how terrible the manufacturer is, have a power adapter just simply disintegrate or fray for no reason whatsoever. I've never seen it. Every phone charger I've ever had has completely stayed intact. Every power adapter I've had for every laptop I've had has also completely stayed intact. But let me tell you something, almost every iPhone charger cable I've had that was made by Apple will usually disintegrate and fray for no reason whatsoever after about a year. And my girlfriend, who uses Macs ever since around 2011, she's using the 2011 models of Macs, which I think are a really good version of Macs. They're probably the best, some of the best made or designed, I should say, laptops that MacBooks ever made, period. Have power adapters that will simply fray themselves after about a year, certainly by a year and a half. So it gets to a point where my girlfriend has sent me a notification saying that her MacBook laptop has its power adapter frayed. It's now pretty much running on life support. She's worried it's going to be sparking. She has to get a new one. I told her, well, okay, go to the Apple store and buy a new one. Shouldn't be too difficult. I'm sure they have spares in the back that you could buy. They're probably around $100, $120 or so, but if your power adapter's busted, then you can certainly go to Apple and get another one. She tells me she doesn't want to do that. She tells me that she found a charger which on Amazon that she says is just as good and is only about $25, and she doesn't want to spend the $100 credit that she has for the Apple at the Apple store because she says that she wants to spend that money towards getting a new laptop eventually. Now, anybody who's familiar with my channel knows that, how do I put this? Third-party cables ain't worth shit. I don't care who the hell makes them. If they don't work immediately, if they don't fail immediately when you try to use them, I don't care how cheap they are, you're going to waste your money on them. I don't care who made them, unless the manufacturer, especially if it's a custom cable. And I know that I got a comment recently from a Wii user saying, "Oh, can I use this third-party Wii to HDMI cable for my for my Wii?" Unless Nintendo made it, don't get it. If for the Xbox, for those of you guys who have Xbox 360s that are using custom cables, I must have gone through a half a dozen different manufacturing types of third-party Xbox 360 cables at a store, at a GameStop, and not a single one of them could actually output video in high definition if they worked at all. So I pleaded with her, don't waste the $25. Don't get it. Don't waste your money, please, for the love of God, don't buy that cable, and please don't use it. But she wouldn't listen to me. She bought the cable anyway. And she started rubbing my nose in it. I'm using the cable, my laptop's fine, ha ha ha. About a week later, she messaged me out of the blue saying, "Hun, for some reason my MacBook just all of a sudden reset its internal clock. I don't know why. Can you come and fix it?" And then a few minutes later, she says, "Hun, you're not going to believe this, but my whole MacBook just kind of shorted out. Like the screen just blinked out for some reason. Could you come and fix it?" No reason was given as to what happened other than just that. That's what happened. And I didn't think too much of it, so I said, just come on over another day. I'll take a look at it and I'll fix it. So she comes over with this third-party charger, and I'm starting to look at the menu. This is the first time I'm actually having a chance to look at it. She'd been using it for about a week. She never even showed it to me. And I clearly see on it, first off, this thing doesn't look anything like a Mac charger whatsoever. This looks like a hunk of garbage. And I look closer at it, and it says that this does not, under any circumstances, stop any surges going into the MacBook. Now, I know about anything along the lines of any surge protector will usually have some kind of impediments because, let's face it, AC power occasionally gets surges. Whether you have lightning storms or not, occasionally you're going to get surges through. That's why when you have electronic devices or sensitive equipment, you always plug them into surge protectors. Now, in most cases, you've got power bricks and things like that that also work as surge protectors. The Xbox 360 power brick and things like that, or the Xbox One's power brick can work as a surge protector, at least in minor cases. So you don't have to usually plug those things into a surge protector, but you certainly could if you wanted to, as long as you're not overloading the protector. Or you're not going past, you're not plugging in a certain amount of stuff into that surge protector that's going to overload it. As long as you're not doing that, you should be fine. So I looked at this thing like, I don't want to plug this into my wall. We were at my house. I said, I don't even want to plug this thing into my wall. This thing doesn't look safe at all. And she's like, no, it's safe, it's safe. And I said, this thing looks dangerous. So I go digging through my basement looking for some extra surge protectors, and I finally come to the realization, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I said, I will only plug this thing into a surge protector just so I don't burn my house to the ground plugging it in. So I plug it in, and I plug it into the laptop, and I test the laptop. It's not accepting a charge. And so I start looking at it like, there's no charge coming into the laptop. She's like, what? I said, yeah, this thing isn't accepting a charge. It's not getting any power from the wall. The laptop was off. She's like, I don't know anything about that. So I look at it a bit tougher, and I realized, no, this thing is dead. She only had it for like a week and a half. I said, this thing is not taking any juice from the wall. This thing is dead. And very quickly I realized what had happened. She had probably gotten a surge in the power line while she was using the third-party power adapter. It blew out because, of course, it wasn't well made. And it wrecked the internal clock. It probably overloaded the internal clock on her MacBook. So not only was her surge protector, which she'd only had for a week, dead, but it's possible her entire MacBook could have been taken with it. That was a $2,000 MacBook. So I run a emergency utility disk on the MacBook on battery power. She had about 64% battery life left on that thing. So I run it on battery power. I basically check everything. I check all the circuits on it using the diagnostic disk, including, I do a full test on it, the RAM, the main board, the hard, I check everything. And it was fine. And I unplugged it. I unplugged her charger. I threw it in the trash. And I said, it's dead, so you can't use it again anyway. Never use a third-party charger for this thing ever again, because you lucked out that it didn't take the whole system. When I said it blew out, which is exactly what I told you would be a concern, that would be something that would happen. And it almost took the whole freaking MacBook with it. Thankfully, probably the battery took the brunt of it. And I mean, her battery is kind of limping along, but at least it was still working. So the main board checked out okay. The RAM checked out okay. Nothing, thankfully, overloaded on that system. And the system is still functioning. But I told her, go straight to the Mac store and buy another proper Apple-made charger. And she took her credit and she bought another one. And she hasn't had a problem with the Mac ever since. So this is just a warning to you people. everybody watching this on the internet, everybody who might be thinking, oh, this third-party cable is cheaper. It'll work just as well, and I'll save some money. Let that be a warning to you guys. Till next time, this is Maniac with GamingSuccess.net. Take care. Over and out.